Welcome to the Gear Slum, your one-stop shop for all things guitar culture nonsense. I'm Aaron.
I'm Phil.
And I'm Cole.
We slum it hard so you don't have to.
Okay, Phil, what's your question?
I don't understand. This is gonna. I don't care how old I sound right now. I don't understand this newfangled slang where children say it's giving.
Okay.
I understand how to use it. I understand.
So it basically started out with it's giving something vibes,
Yeah.
Yes.
and then
Okay,
they just
and that
dropped.
makes sense.
Just drop it.
Then they
Yeah.
just dropped the vibes. So, like, if you're to say, "Oh, my mustache is giving Highway Patrol vibes," you just
Yeah.
drop it and say, "It's giving Highway Patrol."
No. See,
Yeah, I mean,
what don't
that's
like.
literally how it happened. You don't have to like it, but that's...
Yeah, like
So you do
can't just say
understand it,
no.
you just don't like it.
Yeah.
I said I understood it.
Oh, I thought you were saying...
So
You
why
said
did you
it-
say no?
You said you don't understand the grammatical construction.
I saw a TikTok recently where this
TikTok.
guy was saying, "Look at this really cool candle."
It's giving hypocrisy, Phil.
Look at this really cool candle,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
he described
It
he
looks
described
very
everything about the
aesthetic.
candle, and then he says it's got an aesthetic.
No, he
No,
doesn't.
he
He
says-
says,
he says
it's
it-
very aesthetic.
He's
Oh,
like,
it's very aesthetic.
It looks aesthetic or something. Yeah, it's very aesthetic. It's also very aesthetic.
No, it is not. I feel like it's giving is the same kind of thing as saying this is very aesthetic. No, that's not
Yes.
how you use that
I mean,
word.
what you're experiencing is being old and young people ruining the world.
Yeah, it's
In
just
your
like
mind.
it's a shibboleth is what it is. Because then if you're like it's giving Highway Patrol vibes, then they're like he's out of the club. He doesn't get it.
He's
Exactly.
too old.
He's old. Or also, if you said it's giving Highway Patrol, they'd be like, "Why is this old guy trying to talk like us?"
Here, Phil, if it makes you feel any better,
Who
you're
is this
old,
bogey?
right? And it sucks to be old.
Yeah,
But also, like, you got to buy a house, period. Like, that's the end.
Yeah,
And,
Those
like,
kids will
nobody
never-
under 30 gets to. They just don't get to.
yeah.
yeah. It's giving Gen X. Honestly,
It's giving by a house.
It's giving homeowner.
No homeowner. Hashtag no homeowner.
It's giving no homeowner.
So I don't know if you know this about me, but I like to watch ridiculous reality TV shows.
I thought you were going to say ridiculousness.
I don't
Rob
like to
Dyrdek.
watch ridiculousness all that much. Specifically on the Bravo network, which if you remember, Bravo used to play like opera and stuff. It
Yeah.
was like the arts channel.
Yes, it was like Cirque du
Yeah.
Olay.
yeah. It was
It's like how
performance
TLC
arts.
used to be like instructional, like
It was literally
learning
called
stuff,
the
and
Learning
now it's
Channel.
just about little people.
Yeah.
Or giant people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Either
basically
very
any,
small or very big.
the edges of society.
Yeah, it's giving late stage capitalism. But anyway, one of my favorite stupid shows is Vanderpump Rules. And are you guys familiar with this show?
Only
from
you talking about it.
Well,
I
I'll
don't
give it-
even know what Vanderpump means.
I'll give a rundown. I'll give you like a brief synopsis of how this show came to be. So you're familiar, of course, with the Real Housewives franchise.
Obviously.
This, Aaron,
Don't insult
this
me.
is one of the shows. Did I dream about this, or did I just mention that those shows that Aaron watches, all the young beautiful models drink, drink vodka and sugar-free Red Bull?
I don't remember that, but
Okay,
but it's
I was
not
just having
probably untrue.
I was just having a conversation. I feel like I was just having a conversation with somebody about you watching these shows, and I was like, yeah, and that's what they drink.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
that
was
was
not
probably
you?
with me on our text chat that doesn't include Aaron that we have.
Oh, you want to know something else weird? I bought a couple of Red Bulls the other day because I was like, I want a Red Bull. I don't get the regular
Ew.
ones. I like the like seasonal ones because they're actually like flavored. Anyway,
Oh, you like the ones that taste like melted down sweet tarts?
yeah, I like the pear peach and I like the apple fig,
What?
which is the peach edition and the winter edition. But anyway, you, at Target they sell a variety pack, 12 pack, that comes with 3 flavors, and you get 4 of each. But listen to what the flavors are. It's the red edition, which is watermelon.
It's giving red.
Then there's the regular standard Red Bull.
What is it giving?
It's like
Smarties.
licorice. I don't know what Red Bull tastes like. It's gross, but
It's Smarties.
Smarties.
original one is
Yeah.
Yes.
okay. So there's Red Bull, or there's red, then there's
Bull.
original, and then there's sugar free.
Sugar free
Yeah.
is a flavor.
But who buys a mixed pack of regular and sugar free?
Oh, that is interesting.
Isn't that weird?
Yes.
Yeah. Like I feel like you kind of decide and then you
Yeah,
go
like
that
you're gonna
direction.
go either or. You're not buying both unless you're like, you have to live in like the perfect. Okay, like, I drink a lot of Red Bulls and I like the red and the regular, and my wife drinks only occasionally.
Yeah.
And she likes a sugar free.
No,
But
this
like
is
that
like
mixed pack is for a very specific person.
this is like in the variety chip packs that we were talking about.
Yeah.
This is when they
Yeah.
put the sun chips in there.
But
yeah.
it's
like,
not.
screw
It's
you.
like
Screw you! I don't want the sun chips.
It would be like if they put like baked lays in there. Like here's all the
baked Lay's
regular
and
chips, and
normal
here's some
Lay's.
baked lays. Baked lays.
okay. So here's a side question. I don't want to derail.
It's all right. We've been to.
You don't
fast
wanna
I'm gonna get back.
conversation.
Derail.
You mentioned
Vanderpump?
these supermodels that drink sugar-free Red Bull and vodka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is vodka like the most economical, like calorie to alcohol ratio? You know what I'm
No.
saying? Like, what's
No.
the way? Because like
Uh,
beer has a lot of calories in it, and you
Vodka
get-
is, I think, pretty much the same as other liquors. The thing with vodka is it doesn't have
I think you mean
like-
liqueurs.
it. No, it doesn't have as much of like a distinct flavor. So
Yeah,
when
but-
you
Or do they
mix
drink
with,
it with?
When you
Oh,
mix
they're
it with
mixing it.
things, yeah, it's more likely to like.
They're just
kinda
putting.
hide.
They're just mixing. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because vodka,
Well-
they'll mix it with like orange or like fruit juice or something, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Or
Well,
Coke.
or
But
sugar.
but Aaron,
They do
it
rum
is-
and Coke too.
it is less calories than like whiskey, right? It's less.
I'm sure it
sugar.
is slightly, but most of the calories in alcohol comes from the alcohol.
Actually,
sugars.
Cole, this is a good time to talk about. Aaron, have you seen these videos of the college kids making those crazy gallon jug drinks?
no.
Oh my gosh, I forget. Okay, there's a name. It's an abbreviate, or it's an acronym, an acrostic.
Okay.
No, an acronym. G something, gallon something something. And I've seen a bunch of TikToks about people doing this. They take the gallon water jug, they dump out a fifth, they fill that fifth with
Oh.
vodka.
It's Borg.
Borg. What is the-
blackout
Blackout.
rage gallon?
Oh,
Rage gallon.
That's tight.
That's really good,
Rage
dude.
gallon.
I don't even drink alcohol, and I want a Borg, dude, because
That's
that name is so good.
But then people name their jugs like funny, stupid puns. Different
Okay.
Borg puns.
Here's the
You gotta, Phil. You gotta drink it. You gotta have a Namborg.
So here's the weird thing. Urban Dictionary specifically mentions on all of them mentions that it's just vodka and Mio.
Yeah.
Oh,
No. And water.
gross.
And water.
Yeah, water. It says vodka water. Like that's a
Oh.
thing.
So
like,
so a fifth
yeah.
of vodka, the rest of the gallon of water, and then either Kool-Aid or those stupid squirt flavor.
Yeah,
that's what Mio is.
Yeah.
At that, but then one of them mentions Mio Energy, which is like, oh, of course, you got to have caffeine in there so you can keep yourself.
There you go.
Get yourself more drunk. It's like Four Loko. It's like an even worse version of Four Loko.
It's like homemade Four Loko.
Yeah, dude. it's like moonshine Four Loko. It's like one step away from moonshine.
But I commend these young people for staying hydrated, though.
Yeah, the half water. You're getting your water with it.
Yeah.
What's a fifth?
A fifth is 500 milliliters.
Oh, so it's a lot.
I believe it's like
but that's still not
half liter.
Okay.
If you drink a fifth all by yourself, that's a whole lot.
Yeah,
but
that's like alcohol.
Oh no, it's not it's a 750 milliliter. It's like a regular alcohol bottle.
What is it a fifth of then?
It's a fifth of a gallon.
Of a gallon.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not actually, I don't think, but it's like
it's kind of like 2x4s are not an actual 2x4.
Yeah. In the late 19th century, 1/5 of a gallon was the legal threshold for individual commercial alcohol sales.
Okay.
And so that's probably where the 750 came from. Then you can get a liter, or you can get a handle, which is like.
Listen to this, like very official thing. And until 1980, a fifth meant a whole bottle of liquor, and that was the standard size. Now a bottle can hold more or less than 750 milliliters. However, if someone says they drank a fifth of whiskey, it means they drank quite a lot. Oh, thanks, Internet.
That's true.
Okay. I learned something new today about alcohol. Okay, so tell us about Vanderpump Rules, Aaron.
Oh, so there was Real Housewives of Orange County, then there was a bunch of other ones. One of those,
Beverly Hills was the first one, I'm pretty sure.
Orange County was the first one. I will guarantee. But Beverly Hills is
something I know nothing about, and yet I feel very strongly about my opinion.
Beverly Hills is important to this conversation because on the Beverly Hills, Real Houses of Beverly Hills, was a woman named Lisa Vanderpump. Lisa Vanderpump was a British import. Well, how do you say it? A British transplant to Beverly Hills.
She's an expat.
Yeah, sure. She's
what's the
immigrant?
What's the way of calling somebody an immigrant? But like because you think immigrants are bad, yeah.
I think transplant, maybe that's like more.
Exactly.
Anyway, she's an immigrant.
She's not.
She's a European immigrant. She's not what?
Normal looking, but keep going.
She has done a lot of work in the industry, I will say,
and on her face.
Yeah, she's done a lot of face work in the industry.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she was on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I think she started while she was on that show. They had a spin-off show that began by following several of the staff at her restaurant called Pump. No, Sir. This is the dumbest thing too. The restaurant's called Sir, SUR, which is an acronym. It stands for Sexy Unique Restaurant, which is
dude, come on. That's like BFG.
Yeah. So anyway, originally this show started by like following a handful of the servers and bartenders at Sir, and it was called Vanderpump Rules. Most of those people are now off the show because it's been on the air for like 10. I think this is the 10th season.
Jeez.
And these people were like turning 30 when it started, like they were late 20s, early like 30 when it started. So all these people now are like like late 30s, early 40s, and they're still like acting like teenagers. And on the episode the other day, one of them used the structure "It's Giving," and it was like the chuggiest thing I've ever seen.
That's terrible. But now
it's giving chuggy.
It gave chug. It was giving ultimate chug.
That
dude, it was heaving chuggy.
So now it's just like a method for them to be famous. Is that?
Well, now they're just reality TV stars. Like originally they all were like, I'm going to be an actor. I want to be an actor. I want to be a singer. Now they just make their money from being on Vanderpump Rules. But
It's
and,
like every other.
Instagram.
It's like every other reality TV star, right?
Yeah, everyone
then
now
starting a
is like on
podcast
TV
afterwards.
to like, yeah, exactly. Start a podcast and like have an Instagram.
They're on
following so
TV
you
to
can-
be on TV.
Yeah, but now it's like even like you go on TV to build your Instagram brand so that you can like make
Totally,
money
yeah.
doing that.
That's like
Con.
why. And I love how they treat like in the early days of Bachelor and Bachelorette, or when that like first started becoming a thing, everyone treated it as like this huge moral
Yeah.
failing of like, you really only came on this TV show to to become more famous. And it's
you
like,
don't care
yeah,
about the art
who's
of-
crazier?
You don't care
The-
about the art of reality TV.
Yeah, like who's crazier?
No, you
Me
don't
for
care
trying
about
to
love.
build a brand, or you for thinking that you're going to find love because some TV producers chose a
Yeah,
guy
true.
that's going to be an entertaining, like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I've never
Like they're the
watched The
only
Bachelor.
the only sane people on Bachelor are the ones who lied about why they want to be there,
Right.
Because if you actually think you're there to find the love of your life, you're a freaking idiot.
Yeah, you're a psycho.
Yeah, which is why you're so much better TV.
Yeah. Freaking idiots make great TV. They make for great TV. They give great TV.
They're giving great TV.
Yeah, it's giving
Spencer.
good TV.
Spencer.
Yes?
Spencer Pratt.
Oh, yeah, he's
Spencer
an idiot.
for hire.
So these are all like terrible people, Aaron?
Oh yeah, it's amazing. There's this guy James Kennedy who thinks he's a DJ, but he's like really dumb, and
I think he goes by Jamie Kennedy.
he goes by DJ James Kennedy. The reason I know he's not a good DJ is he they don't show him doing any DJing. Like they show him, but you don't hear it. But he goes to his gigs carrying his like DJ board, and it's like all digital, but he doesn't even have a case for it. He just like carries it under his arm.
Dude,
I'm like, this guy's not a real DJ, or like not a
Freaking-
good DJ.
what a poser. Like the ultimate poser move.
It's so stupid. Oh man, I love it.
Doesn't
yeah,
have a case
they're
for
all
it. That's
bad.
amazing.
Then there's this guy named Tom Sandoval. So these two Toms were opening a bar, and they know nothing about opening a bar. This is last year. And
That'll
so
probably work.
like the one dude, Tom Schwartz, they call him Schwartz, his wife Katie was like trying to give him input and like help, and he was like never listened to her and always took other people's side in arguments. They got divorced in between
Oh,
seasons.
that's too bad.
So Schwartz was talking to Sandoval, which is the other Tom, and he was talking about him. He was talking about how he's been distracted because he started a band, and it's called Sandoval and the Most Extras. But so on the last episode, they showed him going to like band rehearsal, because he had a gig coming up, and like the whole band is there already when he walks in. He's like, all right, you guys ready to like play? And they run through a song. He's like, I'm gonna take a break. And then they go, because his friend comes, so they go to like another room to take a break. And he's like, oh yeah, I he's like, he's talking about all the money he spends on his band, because he's sorry. It's like,
Aaron, pull yourself together. This
It's
is
just-
not going to be that funny, and I'm going to be so pissed off at
it's
you
not
that you
but
laughed through this entire effing thing.
he's just so happy. He's like so like into it, and he's talking about how like he just has to pay them all. He's like, I pay them for rehearsal time, and I pay them
Oh.
to come up to the gigs.
No.
He's like, so I am going to take a break, but before I go back, I have to Venmo all these guys.
Oh no, dude. That he's like, it's literally like when you joke about your mom paying your for kids to be your friend.
Yeah, he's having a midlife crisis, and he's just like paying these young musicians to like hang out with him
That is
at
very
his rental
strange.
studio.
Yo.
He
Which is
literally
fine, like,
Venmos them
people
money
do
for their
that.
time.
Yeah. He's like, can you please hang out with me?
Oh my gosh, dude. That's good. Okay, that was worth
I
it.
love it.
I liked that.
Was it played in the show like this is very sad, or was it like, yeah, this is something that people do?
No, it was played as like the jokes on him, because other people were like commenting on like how much money he spent on his band. That
Yeah, what's the tone of this? Are they making fun of all these people?
they don't know that they're being made fun of, but it's
they are.
pretty clear.
Like, I'm trying to think of some of the
Like,
other
they have
examples
to
of
be.
shows like that.
their lives are so ridiculous that like
It's similar to like
they have to
OG
know, but they don't know, or they don't care because they're making enough as much money.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's similar to the tone of like the OG reality shows like the Osbournes, where it's like we're laughing. They are being laughed at, and they're aware that they're being laughed at. They might not be aware to which degree.
That's the vibe. The vibe is like everyone's laughing at them. They know that everyone's laughing at them, but they think they're laughing. They're like, we're laughing with you, but
because
you're
funny. Yeah.
No, they're like, okay, we know you guys are laughing at us, but like we're also laughing at ourselves. But then the audience is like, yeah, but we're actually laughing even more at you than you think we are, because even the way that you think you're laughing at yourself is also laughable.
Like, yeah.
You thinking that you get the joke is also a joke.
Yeah.
Aaron, what was
I mean, they're making a lot of money, so good for them.
Good for them.
What was the situation that we were talking about in some reality show where they were always talking about spaghetti, and then
it's not about the pasta.
We learned after the fact that was a keyword for drugs.
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember that. Is that a thing?
It was like they were arguing, and in the show, it seemed like this is so weird. These idiots are arguing about pasta. They were like super heated, and then after the show aired, it came out that was their secret code word for drugs, so they could talk in like openly about it. And so
I didn't know that. I don't remember that.
Dude, it was actually Vanderpump Rules.
It was?
Lala, James, and Logan literally get into a screaming match about pasta.
No, that's different though. That's different.
No, Aaron told us the story.
It's a code word for cocaine.
Aaron told us the story. Aaron told us this story on the podcast. I'm sure of it.
But that's a different story. Maybe. Oh, I don't know. I did not know it was about drugs.
You told us. You told us.
No, because here's the story. The story that I know about the pasta is James and Lala and what's that other dude's name you said?
I closed the tab.
Hunter.
I've already moved on from this whole topic.
Logan. James, Lala, and Logan are having lunch.
Corbin.
Tinky.
And Lala takes a bite of James's pasta without his permission, and he gets mad at her. And she's like, why are you so mad about pasta? And he's like, it's not about the pasta. I'm mad about something else. And so he just keeps saying, it's not about the pasta. And he's the DJ James Kennedy.
Oh, DJ James Kennedy.
Yeah.
I like his stuff.
Yeah, you do. It's terrible.
Jamie. Anyway. Oh, it's the James Kennedy Experience, right? Is that his thing's called?
He's also British and terrible. He's an absolutely terrible person. Like, just terrible.
There's that one guy.
I don't think he has any redeeming qualities. He's just pure.
There's terrible. That one guy that I see in clips from the Kardashians. He's married to one of them.
Who's Scott Disick.
He's like pretty self-aware, and it's kind of funny.
Yeah, Scott Disick was married to Courtney. Now he's not. He's very funny.
But there's that clip where he talks about going to bed late. He's like, what are you doing so late? He's like, I don't know, thinking about everything I've ever done wrong in the world, you know? It's like, that's so relatable.
I'm sure he's also a terrible person, but he's at least
yeah, but he seems like he at least gets that, like, he's terrible, you know? You know what else is terrible?
This whole podcast up to this point.
Marshall guitar pedals.
Oh, yeah. So I had this new idea. I've been talking a lot, but I'm going to talk a little bit more just to set this up.
So on the theme of executing good ideas poorly, Aaron will tell us about his idea that he had, and then the 3 companies he came up with to start with.
I'll tell you why I chose them too.
Okay.
So I had an idea too that we should choose a pedal company or a company that makes pedals, as it were.
Oh.
And
like Leaky?
Yeah, each of us look. No, Leaky just designs pedals for Sanjun. That what we would do is look at their lineup of pedals and choose one pedal from the company that we would most like to have, and then talk about it a little bit. And I chose Marshall, Fender, and Maestro, and I'll tell you why. because I was like, we should start with the most basic companies, not pedal companies, but like guitar companies of Fender, Gibson, and Marshall.
Okay.
That was my thought. That's why I chose those three.
And then what?
And that's it. And then I chose them.
Okay, what
did
do we do?
Did you not listen to any of the other stuff that I said?
Did you choose your pedals, Phil?
Earlier? You look at the lineup, look at what pedals they have.
Okay.
Say, just go look. None of them have a lot.
Out of all the pedals, Fender has
a lot, but Marshall and Maestro don't have a lot of pedals.
Maestro has 10, I think, and Marshall has 4. So you choose one, and it'll say, like, this is the one out of their whole lineup. This is the one pedal I would most want to have, even if you don't really want it that badly. Like, if you were forced to buy one, which one would you buy?
Yeah.
Or if you were allowed to have only one, which one would you have? Let's start with Marshall, since we talked about it already. So Marshall has the Blues Breaker, which they just re-released these. The Drive Master, which is... They're all overdrive distortion pedals. So it's just like...
It's so weird, dude. I genuinely... I just don't understand it from a market standpoint.
Okay, but so again, they had the Blues Breaker and the Governor, I think, were the original two.
Yeah.
And then the Drive Master came out, which was the Governor, but with like added tone and drive control.
But I love in the description of the Governor, it says it's named after Jim Marshall.
Yeah.
No, it's not. His name isn't Governor. His name is Jim Marshall. It's not called the Jim. I mean, it does say Marshall on it, I guess.
It's called the Marshall Governor. That's the part that's named after him.
That's the part that's named after him, Marshall.
The Marshall part.
The Marshall Blues Breaker is also named after him.
The whole company's named after him. Everything
it's crazy.
Everything we make is named after him.
Oh, here's the weird thing. All 4 of them have very strange enclosures.
Oh, but they're different.
But they're not all the same. Although I think the Blues Breaker and the Shredmaster are the same. Oh, maybe even the Drive Master.
The Governor's the only one that's different. Yeah.
It's kind of a cool design, though. Like, if you picture it, are you looking at these, Phil?
Yeah.
If you picture, the use case of having just some pedals on a stage, it's literally made to just be stomped on, and the knobs cannot get touched, essentially.
Yeah, it's like an updated version of, the old original, stomp boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's a little bit reminiscent of,
updated updated in the 70s or whatever.
Like the Thorpe pedals now. A little bit, right?
Yeah, those have a similar recessed knob area. Well, I guess Boss does too.
That's what I have one of those too, unfortunately.
Yeah, Boss is also designed in a way that the knobs are safe from the foot.
A little, I guess so, but not. I feel like
because
not
of the
as
way
much.
that the foot switch works.
Just because the foot switch pivots down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that used to be a much bigger concern than it is nowadays. I feel
which is weird because it should be a concern now when
there's a million of them on your board, right?
I guess if you're doing MIDI stuff, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But...
Okay, so we're picking one from each.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your Marshall pick?
My Marshall pick is Drive Master.
Why?
What? What do you mean why?
Because
I mean, why? Why over all the
Because Blues Breaker's too boring, right?
Because Blues Breaker only has 3 knobs.
Uh-huh.
I don't want shred knob.
We know how Phil loves knobs, the most knobs possible.
And I don't feel I haven't done the research to be able to say I'm not clear on how gritty the Governor is, but I'm assuming it's on the grittier side.
I think the Governor is actually less gritty than the Drive Master.
Oh, I think you're just saying that to be
no,
contrary.
I think the Drive Master. I think I just read that the Drive Master is like a souped up Governor.
Yeah,
but I think you should get the Drive Master because I think it looks cool for you.
Well,
it looks kind of like Satanic Panic. It's like a Satanic Panic vibe to it.
It's giving.
It's giving Satanic Panic for sure.
Okay, here's
No, it's
something
just giving
that's
satanic.
kind of cool.
It's panicking satanic. Yeah.
The
Aaron, you sound so old when you say it that way.
all the knobs on the governor are different color. They're black with like the little like tick mark on the knob is a different color on each knob.
Oh.
But then they also just go from 0 to 10. But that's the only thing that's labeled is like 0 down at like whatever, 8 o'clock, and then 10 down at 6 or 4 o'clock.
Like 5. It's like 5 and 7.
Yeah. But it's like, I mean, it's where you would expect it to be on an
Yeah.
amp or whatever.
It's kind of cool though. The gain is red, the level is white, and then the 3 tone knobs are all blue.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of pointless. But
It's so
because
weird.
they're also labeled gain, bass, middle, treble, level.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's an accessibility thing. Maybe somebody who doesn't speak English,
That's true. That is true.
It's like how a lot of like tutorials or like IKEA instructions are all pictures,
Mm-hmm.
so they don't have to translate them.
Mm-hmm. Smart.
I'm going to choose the Blues Breaker because, like,
Because you think it'll be worth the most in
I
a year
guess.
or
No,
two?
well, I think like might as well,
Go for the
see
classic.
what all the fuss is about.
I'm gonna take the governor
Governor,
Wrong.
the
because
Governator.
I like Jim Marshall's name.
Oh yeah, it does have his name on it.
I like that it's named after Jim Marshall.
That's actually why I chose the Blues Breaker because it's
But
named
it-
after Jim Marshall.
So even if that's his nickname, governor, it's like that's just like a British thing. It's not like
Yeah,
it's like, oh, we named this pedal Sir after
yeah, it doesn't make
after
any...
Leo Fender.
Yeah.
who everyone called Sir.
We named this pedal Dad because that's what his kids called him. The Marshall Dad.
You named it. Hey, Mister.
Hey, Mister. Hey, Mister.
Mister. Hello, governor.
Let's do Fender last because
All right. A new rule I just added. Once someone picks a pedal, it's off the table. No one else
No.
can choose it. Yeah, I just added it.
Yes.
But Phil, you get to go first.
You can go first, Phil.
You went first last time, so now you never get to go first again.
Okay. I am choosing my Maestro pedal.
Okay.
I think you might be able to guess what I would choose.
The overdrive?
No, the Orbit Phaser because
The
I love
phaser.
phasers.
Yeah, you do love phasers.
And it has a little phaser gun as the graphic.
I'm
mean,
so
what?
mad. That's what I was going to pick.
Well, sorry.
Oh yeah, it does. I didn't even notice. the
rules
little
is rules,
graphics.
Phil.
That's a cool one. I'll let you choose next, Phil. So I don't take.
I do like how these Maestro pedals have like the little lights, like the different colored lights.
Oh yeah, the 3
The little
different.
trumpets. Is that what they are?
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Go ahead, Aaron.
I thought they were just like laser things, but now that you say trumpets, I think you're probably right.
I don't know.
No, I'd like for you to choose next.
No, Aaron.
I have
I'd
no
like
reason
you
to think
choose.
that this would be a good phaser, though. That's the weird thing.
I think it's cool because I think it's like all analog. I think that's
Yeah.
like the bit with it. I'm sure it's not like it doesn't have the.
because the graphics are old.
No, I just think that it is, but it doesn't. It's not going to have like the functionality of like the Walrus Audio or some another like newer
So,
style.
Apparently, the Maestro phaser was the very first phaser ever produced. The phaser
Oh, well,
first
there you
phaser
go.
pedal.
well, there you go. But this is a
There you go.
reissue. But still, it's cool.
And vibe you
Aaron, go.
expect from an all analog. It is an all analog phaser. Man, maybe I do want this pedal.
So their pedals are only 149 too.
Yeah.
Which is like that's not
Interesting.
bad for a new pedal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna choose the. There's a couple ones. I'm gonna go with the Agena envelope filter,
It's pronounced agina.
the Agena. It has a picture of an alien head on it.
That was my second choice.
What was your first choice? The phaser?
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna choose the chorus, so I left that one for you.
There isn't a chorus.
Because he
Yeah,
mentioned
there
it.
is.
You can't say that one either now, Phil.
There's the Comet chorus
Where?
down.
Scroll down.
Oh, you got to go to the pedals page. There's because it doesn't make sense, but there's like the new arrivals
Yeah.
original collection, and then there's the original collection.
I mean, they're all a part of the original collection. Just some
but
of
there's
them
just the new
arrived
arrivals. Yeah.
into the collection.
So click on pedals, the drop down menu, and then select
Okay.
all pedals. Shop all pedals,
Oh,
It's still you still have to scroll down. That is a dumb.
and then it's like at the
design.
very bottom. The Comet Chorus. But I think I'll choose the Comet Chorus instead.
damn it.
And you can have the envelope filter. All right, you can have the chorus.
So it is a
my
Bucket
actual
Brigade
choice
chorus.
is the Mariner. The Mariner? Marina?
What do you think? Like the Seattle Mariners?
The Mariner. The Mariner Tremolo. Guys, the other day I went to get some food at my local hot chicken joint. And as I was walking out,
It's
these
yours?
it's my local hot chicken
You
joint.
own
It's
it.
named after you?
I don't own it, no.
It's yours.
I mean, I have mental and spiritual ownership of it. I take ownership of it.
It's yours.
It's mine. I was walking out, and these two guys in military garb were walking in, and I was like trying to measure like how far away they were, and like whether or not I should hold the door for a second. And so they like kind of slowed down, but then they were like just far enough away that I was going to let go of the door. But then the guy like kind of reached forward for it, like for the handoff,
Uh-huh.
of the door. So I kind of like had to like lean back a little bit and like hold on to it for a second. And then he was like, "Oh, thanks." And I was like, "Yeah, you're welcome." But he didn't thank me for my service.
Oh.
He only
This
said
is like
thank
a
you.
Curb
He
Your
didn't say thank you for your
Enthusiasm
service.
episode.
So I too have been burned by
Dude, you got burned by military
by
racism.
military racism, by denied valor.
Systemic military racism.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know whether or not I was in the military.
It's true.
I could have been a superior officer to him. He didn't say sir. He didn't salute. He didn't say
Do
thank
they
you for
have
your service.
inferior officers? Like, does somebody have an inferior officer?
Yeah.
Like, you will address me as your inferior officer.
Well, you couldn't say that because you would have to say that to your superior officer, and you would never address your superior officer in that way.
Oh. I mean,
Ooh,
if you're
Aaron
his inferior
definitely
officer.
has.
I wonder if they have
Yeah.
ulterior officers.
Do they have posterior officers? Cosmo Kramer, the ass man.
It's a posterior officer.
He's a posterior officer. I consider myself more of a posterior enthusiast. So do you guys know who makes good effect pedals? Not
Wait,
those two
wait a
companies
second.
we just
Hold
talked
on a
about.
second.
Oh.
Did you know that Gibson owns Mesa Boogie?
Uh
I feel like we've talked about that.
Have we? I feel like I've never heard that in my life.
I
Right,
don't
just like
that's
you've
like
never
a
told us the
pretty
story
new
about
deal though.
pasta, cocaine.
I don't. That doesn't sound familiar to me at all.
So that was announced in last 2021 at NAMM. So that's a pretty
Oh, okay.
new deal.
Interesting.
So it says the iconic amp brand will continue to manufacture products under its own name as well as become Gibson's custom shop for amplifiers.
Oh,
So Mesa
weird.
Boogie is like Gibson's custom shop now. Yeah, I don't
Interesting.
remember that. Weird.
I only know because I saw they're like on the whatever the
On the website.
what do you call that? Like the masthead at the top of the website. Yeah. Crazy. And
Masterior.
KRK systems I knew because they have their own like Gibson branded speakers too that are the same as the
Yeah.
KRKs. Anyway, that's interesting.
Our Mesa Boogies, they're not like I mean, they're in the same family as Marshall amps. But they were they
As
intended to be like
Marshalls?
Marshall clones?
No, I feel like Mesa Boogies are like souped up Fenders, kind of. No,
Maybe so.
because they're very like California. Maybe that's just like the
Because like
geographical
that's what they show up
connection.
as an amp modelers or whatever.
Well, no, just because like Fender was California and then Mesa Boogie was
Yeah,
California.
In my mind, Mesa Boogies were always like super high gain.
Yeah,
So I just
yeah,
kind of
same.
lumped them in with
with Marshall. Yeah,
Like,
Marshall. Like that was like the thing is like everyone's paying like a JMP 2000 or
Yeah.
a Besa Boogie dual rack in like the late 90s.
Like I wonder what